rumors around. You know, we talked about it. You know, Tony Stewart's now off. He's running an NHRA. Still got 4 cars over at Stewart-Haas, but this is the last year of their deal with Ford. What are the chances, do you think, Jim, that they have 4 cars at this time next year at Stewart-Haas?
I don't know. I think that's one of the big question marks going into the 2024 season is the future of Stewart-Haas Racing. Because, I mean, there's signals that Tony is perhaps not interested in the ownership role that he has any longer. There's been talk about trying to get other well-known drivers involved. Their deal with Ford will expire. So, and the one that they have currently is prefaced on the fact that they field 4 full-time entries in the Cup Series. So, if a similar type of a new deal was made, then they might have to have that commitment. And it's a big year for them because they got a swath of new drivers. And their performance has been off the last couple of years. They do have a new Mustang, which is another story that I will be looking at this year, is how, if any, does the new Mustang and new Camry bodies impact the competition. But I think that's one of the bigger stories, is how the future of SHR plays out, because they have gone from being a team that was around when it was just Gene Haas as the owner, Haas CNC Racing, that just was there every week, sort of ran well every once in a while, to one of the top organizations in the sport that's competing for championships every year until just recently. So in either case, it's a big deal because they've become an integral part of the Cup Series.
What stories are going to capture your fancy at the beginning of the year, Dustin?
Well, that's a good one with Stewart-Haas, and just the fact that they do have 2 new drivers coming in with very little experience. Josh Berry obviously only has fill-in starts primarily, and then Noah Gragson didn't even get a full season under his belt last year. So that's a big one, and how it goes into 2025. Like Jim mentioned, this is their final year with Ford in this current contract. So that's one. We talked about Daniel Suarez. Another one I'm looking at, and I think we talk about like on the hot seat. I think Harrison Burton's on the hot seat this year. You look at his first 2 years, and I know he's super young, and you got to let these guys develop. But that's what the lower 2 series are for, right? Like, you should let them develop and then get him into a good ride. Well, Harrison's in a good ride, an affiliate to Team Penske, and it hasn't gone well the first 2 years. So I think Harrison's on the hot seat, and he's just got to make an improvement from the last 2 years.